Yo, what is good, YouTube? Matty Dubs here, back with another video, guys. We have some more breaking news, highlights, takeaways, observations from Steelers OTAs. Now, this was the final day of their OTA period before they head into the start of mandatory minicamp. Now, before I get into the video, I do want to start this off by saying I need you guys to take everything I say with a grain of salt. Yes, there are guys who are standing out, which we'll talk about in a second, but the pads are not on. There's not too much contact. It's pretty much all individual drills, some 7-on-7s, a little bit 11-on-11s, but not too much right now. We won't know who's really standing out until the start of, training camp and the dog days of camp. And mandatory minicamp, we'll see a little bit more, which I'll be covering. But with that being said, I need you guys to do me a huge favor before I talk about who looked good in yesterday's practice. Hit that like button. Let's even get up to 700 likes. You guys are one of the best fan bases on YouTube. It seems like you guys always go crazy. So let's see if you guys can do it here again today. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join the family. I will be covering the entirety of the NFL offseason, which includes the rest of free agency, mini camp, training camp, preseason, regular season, whatever it may be. I got you guys covered, so join the family and turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we drop a video. But without any further ado, let's get into who stood out in yesterday's practice here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the one guy that looked really good, and you guys are going to be so excited to hear about this, it was Kenny Pickett, man. He is finally really taking that next step up in terms of just becoming a leader on this team, on and off the field. He's always in the playbook. He's always trying to help guys get better, and he's looking pretty good in practice, which is probably one of the most important things going forward. Now, there was one big play that stood out to all the reporters, and I saw a lot of it, on Twitter. They were talking about this one play that he made. He threw a huge touchdown to Connor Hayward, which was just huge, and he put it into a tight window that nobody else could get except for his guy, Connor Hayward. And that was amazing. That was one thing that, they've been raving about. Kenny Pickett has been getting his accuracy up. He's been doing a good job at putting the ball at where it needs to be, especially in the red zone. That was his one critique last year. Wasn't really, insanely accurate at times. He's shown flashes, but this year it seems like, he's motivated. He's ready to play, and he's a leader on and off the field, which is the one thing that they really wanted to see out of Kenny Pickett coming into this season. Now, another guy that's been looking really good is a guy named Calvin Austin. Now, if you guys don't know who Calvin Austin is, you guys need to figure it out, man. He is, starting to really break out. Here he is here. Small guy, very fast guy, can make big-time plays with the ball in his hands. Now, he did play. He was drafted out of Memphis, I think in the third round, I want to believe. Fourth round of last year. Didn't play at all due to an injury, but he's back. He's ready to compete for a roster spot here. I know they have 3 wide receivers in Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, but I do think Calvin Austin can not only make some plays, but I think he might carve himself out a really nice role for this team here in 2023. He's impressed everybody, and everyone in the locker room is looking like, or everyone in the locker room is saying, yo, this dude Calvin Austin looks different. Like, he looks like one of those guys, man. They've been raving about him. The coaching staff, the players around him have just been saying that he has just looked amazing. Now, he also caught a touchdown yesterday on Thursday, and I think the reporters, were speaking to him, and he kind of broke down the play. He said, yeah, simple crossing route. That was a red zone. That was the red zone, and I knew it was man covered. So with the crossing route, it was just running away. One thing I know I can do good is run. The route was there. The play was there. It was a great play, and he continues to build confidence in rapport with his starting quarterback here in Kenny Pickett. Look for Calvin Austin to continue to make a name for himself and get some more training camp buzz as we head into the start of preseason and mandatory minicamp. He did miss all of last year, but I do think this year he's getting a lot of buzz and can hopefully make a big time name for himself and carve out a role going forward. Let me know in the comment section down below, how do you feel about Calvin Austin, and what do you guys think his role will be in this upcoming season? Another guy that's been looking really good as we transition into the running back room, Alfonso Graham. Now, he's an undrafted free agent running back who is coming in here and trying to earn like that number 3 job. Obviously, you look at Najee Harris and you see Jaylen Warren. Those are your 1-2s, but the third running back is pretty much up for grabs, man. You got Anthony McFarland, the former 4th round pick. I believe it was 2020 he was drafted. You got Jason Huntley, you got Alfonso Graham, and Darius Hagans, who are all trying to compete for the number 3 job. But if you ask me, I think Alfonso Graham might have the leg up on Anthony McFarland. Right now, man, he seems like one of those guys who has, the it factor. He wants to face the best, he wants to compete with the best, and he wants to work the hardest because he wants to be one of the best players on the field at all times. Now, he did have a rough play here on Thursday, but the thing was, he was like, listen, he wanted to go up against the best, and he actually went out and challenged a guy in Minkah Fitzpatrick who actually, hit him pretty hard, and, he said it was one of his welcome to the NFL moments already. But the thing is, he had the confidence to go out and want to compete against one of the best players in the NFL in Minkah Fitzpatrick, and as long as you're competing with the best players and want the best players to, help you grow and mold you as a player, you're going to develop. And you can already tell he has that mindset that he wants to be a true professional in the NFL. So just that alone shows me that Alfonso Graham might have enough to, not take over the roster, but, make a name for himself and potentially, make the final roster, if not at least make the practice squad at the very least. But there's also another guy who's been looking very good, and this is a guy who they brought in late in free agency. I think he came over from the XFL. His name is Luke Barku. Now, he's a cornerback, and he had a crazy interception yesterday, or I think on Wednesday, but he was, an interception machine throughout college, throughout the XFL, a guy who could just make big-time plays in big-time moments, and he did it here, or he is doing it here in OTAs with the Seals. We'll see if he can carry that into mandatory minicamp, which would be huge because I think mandatory minicamp allows you to have more 11-on-11, so that's when things should be, really ramping up here, and that's when things should get a lot more interesting. But, with the loaded cornerback room already for, Pittsburgh, I'm not sure if he will make the team. You got Patrick Peterson, you got Joey Porter, you got Shannon Sullivan, who they added during the draft as a free agent. You also got Keanu Neal, Minkah Fitzpatrick, you got James Pierre, you got Levi Wallace, who... Well, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys think Levi Wallace is going to be a starter here in 2023? Because the depth charts I've been looking at have shown that's going to be Pat Pete, Joey Porter, and Shannon Sullivan. But let me know if you guys think Levi Wallace will be a starter here again in 2023. And you also got Duke Dawson, the former, I think, a first-round pick by New England. We'll see if he gets some playing time. And then Luke Barku. I do think Luke Barku can make a big name for himself and actually potentially make the roster, as well as Corey Trice, who's been breaking out as well. So hit that like button, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Those are the guys who've been standing out so far or during the last days of OTAs. Kenny Pickett, Alfonso Graham, Calvin Austin, and Luke Barku. Let me know who you're most excited to see throughout mandatory minicamp. I will be covering that as well, so join the family, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Pro Class, the absolute best place for you to take your game to the highest level. It's the first of its kind sports training and development platform where you can reach your highest potential by learning from some of the best athletes on the entire planet. Some of these guys include Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, Allen Iverson, DeMar DeRozan, and so many more. And I have some great news for you guys. If you guys go use my code MattyDubs, you'll get 50% off hundreds of training videos, workouts, and drills, and you can get in the lab right now. So go check it out. Go steal some of the secrets from some of the top players in the world right now. And if you are interested in developing your skills at any level, if you play in middle school, high school, college, or if your goal is just to be a better athlete, a better basketball player, this is where you need to go. Nobody else does this. Go check them out, and you can learn, develop your skills at a fast pace, high speed level. Click the link in the description for instant access to all of the secrets in the world. And remember, using code MattyDubs will get you 50% off right now, so don't miss out on this offer.